Perfect. Okay. Good afternoon, good evening if you're in Africa or other parts of the world. Good morning. Thank you so much for taking time to be here today. Happy New Year. Today's January 11th, and we are really excited that you've chosen KCT, King's Counsel and Trust Family Office, to start the new year with us. We've got some great announcements, some wonderful news. Really grateful that you're here. Let me go ahead and get our slide. Come on, next slide. Here we go. Okay, operator error. Sorry.
That's my nickname.
Is it? We
Yes.
have a nickname, okay.
Operator error.
Oh, good, I have a brother here. So our intention is connecting people for one purpose. And today, our agendas, we're going to talk, you'll get a quick overview of our mission and vision. And we know that if you're here, you're most likely really aligned with what we're doing and what we're up to. Our managing director, Dale, is going to be doing an update on some of the news that's happening in KCT. You're also going to have the opportunity to meet some of our team members and our power partners. You'll learn about some of our cool current initiatives that we're working on. And you'll also learn how to get involved in what we're doing. We have lots of, whether it be projects or maybe there's things that you have personally that you want support with. We're going to share with you how to get involved. We're going to do one of my favorite things, which is our breakout session. This is a time to network and collaborate and get to know others who are here. And then we'll open it up for Q&A. And we don't want to wait till the end for the Q&A. We do answer the questions there, but if there's something that comes up, please put it in the chat and let us know, because we want to really be sure that you know, if there's something that you came here for in particular, that's supported. If we don't have a chance to get with you in the Q&A, or for some reason we run short on time, we'll be sure to follow up and, you know, again, make sure you have that information in the chat. So here's our mission and vision. I'm not going to read it to you. I'm just going to be quiet just for a moment so you can read for yourself. And just so they don't think it's awkward coming in and we're here in silence for a minute. The thing that really, you know, I hope that this mission and vision speaks to your heart the way it has many of us that are here. This is our time to pray, prepare, participate, partner, and prosper together. And on my journey, I'm so grateful to have met KCT and this amazing team, because this is absolutely what's been happening in my life. And if it's your first time, hopefully this is that first stepping stone for you to experience the same. Those of you that don't know Dale Hewitt Collier, he's the founding and managing director of King's Counsel and Trust Family Office. When I first met Dale, it was over 14 years ago. And when he spoke to me, it was really powerful, because not everything made sense. And I know some of you have said here, you know, I don't understand everything, but I promise you, if you keep showing up, you keep connecting, you get a great opportunity to learn. But my heart kept saying what he's saying is true. And since that time, had the opportunity where he hired me to help him with his bio. And I realized that Dale is somebody that we've actually tagged him as a financial futurist, where he's been given this information on how to navigate this pivot. This is not new, what he shares and what he's up to. This is something that him and Thomas and the team has been working on for some time. Like, they knew a lot of what's happening now was happening, and he has really put together that roadmap and the ability to help people navigate what's happening next. So with that, Dale, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Fantastic. That was a lot of peaks. And yes, indeed, Happy New Year for everyone. There really is a lot going on, but before we get into some of that, I think one of the things that's most often looked over is, you know, what is that information that we're bringing forth and sharing? You know, Shannon, you spoke to how many years ago, and didn't quite make sense until more and more regular showing up, because there's several things that we came out with last year that, you know, had listened, you know, most folks in their portfolio, just economically speaking, would be 5 times greater a hit than if you had just done a passive index investment in the Dow, and even, unfortunately, worse than that, in the S&P 500 since this whole mess got started. And why is that important? Because part of what we're here for And when we talk about kingdom, that was part of the thing in the newsletter that went out. What's this thing called kingdom? By God, with God, for God. If you're paying attention to what Dad has to say upstairs, he's always positioning us for success. Success we define as just preparation meeting opportunity. And unfortunately, those that that perish are those that either don't see or lack knowledge. And I can't stress enough, in these times right now, no one's got a crystal ball. Even in these times, it says in the good word that even the most elect would be deceived. And I don't know what's going on in Washington, but I live here in Florida. I know that I can still do things where I'm at. And because of when this pivoted, where we got a lot of grief about being bricks and mortar since 2010, shifting to a virtual model. Well, I'll tell you what, we didn't miss a beat when any of this got started. And Shannon and I, both of us, doing events and us more in a virtual space, we'd be able to come together. One of the things we really enjoy doing is love your neighbor. How can you get your house in order in these times? What are you doing while you're sitting on your couch and you've binge watched all of your favorite Netflix shows? There's still things that you can be doing to prepare, as it were, for opportunity when it shows up. These aren't just, so we say, economic issues. These are also family-related issues. When's the last time you updated a will? To talk about New Year's resolutions right now, most people fail miserably at them because, hey, they're too busy, and they very quickly fall back into their old patterns, as it were. But while everyone else was getting ready to go into the holidays, one of the big things that we're doing is all about standing for not just financial deregulation, but financial reform in Florida. And so under the radar, ourselves, we would partner up with the Family Office Network, not just another office, but a whole network of us, nationwide, worldwide, that all have a common voice of accredited investors and really cool impact things going on, be it cryptocurrency or cannabis. These are the movers and shakers. And together we got together and hosted a little kind of meet and greet. What's this commissioner up to? We happen to have a relationship with Russell Weigel III, and he's doing some good things there, making some progress, not just one bill, but several different bills and initiatives. Anyone interested in learning more about that, please put a question in the chat, and we can provide a link if you care to go back and see, what's involved there and who's involved, as it were. So they're all in legislative session right now. It doesn't mean that we still can't be, while we're waiting on them to figure out what they want to do, what's next and what we're looking for. And this gets right squarely into one of our favorite initiatives of when the money failed, going back to Genesis 47. When the money failed, what was Pharaoh thinking about? And he heard about this guy, Joseph. Joseph had the interpretation of his dream, as it were. Remember the fat cow, skinny cow scenario? And more importantly, the solution. What do we do about it? And so what we've been working on, and unfortunately we got delayed with getting out of the gate in terms of holidays, coming right into developing a wallet, a hybrid wallet of both hot and cold storage, as it were, but the ability to bring in other currencies, credit cards, cryptos, etc., and the stable coins tied to both sovereign silver and gold. That's what's coming in the next month. Just this morning, got a chance to look at what the development team had to do. This is already being tested in beta, and there's no one else doing sovereign silver or gold. And I'm suggesting that if you haven't yet considered precious metals as a part of your strategy to shore up your own corporate balance sheet, to shore up your own family, household retirement, please look into that. If you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, please make yourself known here. We can get together offline and talk more about that situation. But those two things in particular, I'm really excited about. And there's one other initiative that a new client that's coming on that potentially could change everything we know about healthcare in this country. The costs are only going up, and those that are getting, really hurt the most are those that are self-financing this, as it were, as opposed to leaning on others for assistance. You're going to learn more about that in a minute. But since the last time you were here, we've got a few more official team members, and I'm so happy to kind of highlight and review a few of those. If you could, Shannon, let's meet the first one. Everybody knows this guy. He's the help desk that no one calls for help for, but he's still there, whether you know that or not. Thomas and I, we go back a long ways, and you can read a little bit about what he has going on there. But Thomas, I don't want to steal your thunder, your involvement, and there's a few new faces that you haven't met yet today. You mind sharing in just a minute or two of your story and why you're still here?
Well, I told Dale that he couldn't get rid of me if he wanted to. So that's why I'm still here. The kingdom is advancing. I see it. I'm experiencing it. And if you're looking for a place to experience kingdom advancement, and when I say that, I don't know what it looks like for you. I didn't even know what it was going to look like for me. But I have seen a real demonstration of the power of God at work in my involvement at KCT, and I can't think of another place that I have seen that or experienced that. So for me, it's not just talking about it. I want to see results. So I'm results based, and that's why I stick around.
Thank you, brother. Next up, I believe from across the pond to the south a little bit, Rui Pereira just joined us a little bit over a year ago, and he's kicked the tires, looked under the hood, and trying to find everything that might go sideways as a former operations and technical specialist. But Rui, you're still here too. What's your story, brother?
Thanks, Dale, and once again, good evening to everybody. What intrigued me about KCT was a different outlook on achieving the same business objectives that I'd been indoctrinated into over a 4-decade period. The way that KCT goes about engaging with the prospect client or investor is considerably different to what's run-of-the-mill and out there. I've had the privilege of working pretty much around the globe for a multinational organization as a very senior executive. And I can tell you that what I found in KCT drew me back like a magnet. So I'm in it for the long haul, and I hope to do justice in Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Rui's got a really interesting introduction. Just a quick note that potentially, there's a big buzz about non-fungible tokens right now. And to think that that might actually have a correlation with certificates of authenticity with diamonds in Africa and other things, artisanal mines. That's exciting. That's coming up soon. But more on that next month. Next up, David Dunworth. I love this dude. He's been around almost a father figure in a certain way, but by age and certainly by experience. But where David and I first clicked it off wasn't so much on a project as we had an affinity for. It's not so much about what we make as what we keep. We're getting strategic about putting our house in order with our fiduciary and our trusts and estate planning. And if you would, David, do you mind a little bit about that and some of what you have going on and why you're here?
For sure. Thank you. Thank you, Dale, and welcome everybody. Most of you have seen or heard from me before, but Dale and I clicked it off because I already had a reasonable faith and belief in the kingdom principles and Jesus, and it really turned on big time for me when I went from being a multimillionaire to living in my car in Detroit in January. And that's when the wake-up call finally hit, that it wasn't always about me and the money. It was about what I could do to help others. And when Dale and I met, we kind of clicked because I consider Dale my faith mentor, to be honest with you. He draws me closer to Jesus than anything. I'm a Bible reader. I'm a Bible thumper, I think. And I'm not the least bit bashful, if you will, about communicating my beliefs to others. And Rory already used the word magnet, but that was on my mind, is, how a magnet has two sides. One attracts and the other repels.
we lose David?
Took my hand off the bumper. It was a glorious connection, and we love it ever since. So I'm happy to share legacy strategies, and I'm a marketer by trade, a copywriter by specialty, and a student of direct response. So I write persuasion and action copy, and so that's what I love doing. That's what I bring to the table.
Thank you, David. I'm certainly thinking it's important. Principles without purpose and application are, what's the point? We're supposed to be doers of the word. One thing I invite all of you, if you ever feel challenged with some of those bold statements that we talk about, how do we demonstrate and love your neighbor in the marketplace? No harm in asking that question. Where is that in the Bible? What does the good word have to say about that? Whether it's Old Testament or New. Many of us are well-versed in being able to kind of see the unseen, as it were, like the Bereans, to go back in the word and see what they've never seen before. I think that was one of the attractive factors when Shannon came along, is it's like this magnetic thing. It's like something's going on here. And what was greatly missing for us, aside from the lack of, I'd say, event and purpose and community planning, was a lot of the feminine energy. And I think she's certainly a welcome and integral part of what we do and how we show up now. And we invite you to learn more about that, because that is one of the topics we want to talk about today, and how you can apply that, what you've got going on, whether you're one person, a small group, or a multinational. But Shannon, obviously you're still here. You enjoy working with us, old dogs. A little bit about your story here.
Thank you, Dale. Yeah, I feel the need to kind of piggyback on David, because when I first met KCT, I felt a little, out of sorts, because I have Jewish friends, I have Buddhist friends, I have Hindu friends, and felt like I wasn't a match. And the thing that I really love about KCT is that you guys do walk your talk of love your neighbor, and it's so beautiful to be a part of an organization that honors those many different paths. So for me, I love helping people do events, and I love this aspect of building community. And I find that, and you guys all agree that why you're here, that we're more powerful when we come together, and we can have a greater impact when we come together. And what really got me passionate about this type of work of building community was, a number of years ago, they made an ND, which is a naturopathic medicine, a felony in the state of Florida. And so overnight, and I had friends that were reaching out to me, and overnight they became felons, and some of them have been practicing for 30 or 40 years. And what touched my heart was that nobody knew. Right? Like nobody knew that this law was going on. Even now, many people don't even know that that law exists. And so I found that through community, we can actually get messages out to and events and this realm of work. We can start having that impact, because all of the initiatives that we work with, a lot of them, like the world needs them. we're in great need, and these are things that are of impact. So I love being able to show up and help people navigate the event space. And when you learn to do events and you learn to do media, you learn how to do joint ventures, and you learn how to collaborate. And really that's what what we do at the Business Acceleration Network, and in partnering with KCT and with individuals that we work with. So, real quick, Dale, I want to plug some of the upcoming events, and you can see in action what we're doing. And I know when projects come on with KCT, we work to build their impact and build their community. And so here's our next town hall meeting. Please get that on your calendar. If you're here registered, we automatically register you for the next event, so you should get an email. But this is the big piece of what we're doing as a community, and then also working in and bringing in our power partners, and we'll go into that a little bit more. But here's some of the upcoming dates, and I see that I missed January. That's supposed to be January there. Sorry, guys. That's coming up. So Dale, did I hit on everything that you would like me to for why I'm here?
I think so. One quick point on that, both of those dates, if it's not obvious, I want to just point out the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of the month.
Or
I'm
Thursday.
wondering, did I say Thursday?
You said Tuesday because that's what it read. You read it. I'm sorry.
All right, so 1 and 1, but how to take that back to your folks in having some predictability, I think right now is really, really important to all of your constituent stakeholders, because there's a lot of uncertainty right now. This is one of the better ways to help folks create a regular opportunity to come show up in a lunch and learn type format, meet a few new people that they haven't, heard or had a chance to meet just yet, and share, what's working, what's not going on. This can and most definitely applies to capital raising right now, because with more and more things getting ready to shut down, the big question is, how do you put butts in chairs? And more importantly, how do you get in front of them when things are slowing down or shutting down or being restricted and cut off? We're not going back to the way business is done. We get an opportunity to influence the way it is going forward. This is just one way we'd like to show up and do that. So that's the only other addition I have to share is, please don't just be here for this and us right now, is to how can you take this away and apply it to your organization? Shannon, you'll talk more on that a little bit later, I'm sure. Now, you already heard me talk about the well. I really wanted to have some show and tell on it today, other than the fact that I know that we got it, and it looks great, but we just don't have that to a website interface yet. If anyone hasn't had a chance to see what this wallet initiative is about, if you'll go to KCTFO / I think it's co-vestors. Shannon, do you have that on this slide? Yeah. On that landing page, it's just one simple page. There's about a four-minute video. You can see what's going on and a brief description about it. But I don't want to talk about that so much more. We've got some new things that are here since the last time that we just mentioned coming in that are greatly going to transform how things get done. And one of those is Trifecta. Is Jeff here? Do we know?
He is.
Fantastic. Jeff, are you feeling bold enough to give us a Super Bowl commercial? What is Trifecta? What does it mean to small business in America? And how can everyone listening online take advantage of this opportunity, because you're going to share something here today?
Yes, thanks, Dale. I do apologize. I have I'm getting over sickness, so I do have a little bit of brain fog. So if I miss anything, you guys can feel free to interrupt me or jump in. But basically, in the United States healthcare system, there's a big thing that's missing, and that is transparency with data. And if anybody on this call is aware, the costs continue to rise all the time, every year on healthcare. And really, we are really passionate about fiduciary responsibilities and fiduciary accountability. So what we're actually doing is we're educating all of the employers in the United States that they actually have a fiduciary responsibility under the ERISA law. And so what we've done is we've decided to build a command center, which can help them take all of their medical and pharmacy claims, and they can do 4 things with them. They can do forensic analytics to understand what's really going on inside their plan. We can provide predictive analytics that can tell them what's going to be coming in the next 6 to 12 months in advance. We can mine for cost savings opportunities, because they're chock full of them, as you can imagine. Without any transparency out there, there's a lot of holes. And then the last thing we do is we provide real-time monitoring. So when we do identify things, we can help our clients actually reverse what's going on in regard to that. So this is all about fiduciary responsibility and making sure everybody's doing what they agreed to at the beginning of the day. And we feel like we can close the gap of what's happening. There's profit leaks happening everywhere out there. And we want to put that back into the hands of the people that can do the right thing with it. Because unfortunately right now it just goes to pure waste. The statistic out there is about 25 cents out of every healthcare dollar that's spent gets zero value for it. And we're trying to eliminate that 20% because that equals roughly $1 trillion in the US economy. So we are we're working hard to put our clients back in control, which they have lost over the past 20 or 30 years. So that's what we're doing.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there's this thing called AI. How does that work in something like this? Because I imagine that's pretty kind of sexy, how that could be used in such a kind of almost boring, legalistic type of, very regulated space. And not to mention, though, that anyone that gets on board, I would think, company for company, they're that going to be that much more competitive with that much cost avoidance to be greater allocated somewhere else, where the rest might just become dinosaurs. Is that true?
Correct. Our clients are averaging spending about 30 or 40% less than their competition does, which you can imagine what that does to give them a leg up on the competition. And also we're ironically, we're saving them 30 to 40%, and we're improving their benefits, which you can imagine also reduces turnover and other costs when it comes to employees. So we actually are doing a double whammy on that. And the AI is extremely important because there's billions and billions of records that we're working on, and you need the most sophisticated technology that's out there to be able to process all of that and make it actionable. The real key is making it actionable. There's a lot of companies out there that process data, but very few of them that make it actionable. So that's where we've tried to take it to that next level and say, okay, not only are we going to tell you what's going on, we're going to tell you how to unwind it and how to right the ship. So that's what we're doing there. And here's the funny part, Dale. AI is important and it's great and it's all over the world. Right now, they just need They just need the information. They don't have it. It's being hidden from them. And we are re-educating people that not only are you the fiduciary, and how can you do your fiduciary responsibilities if you don't have the information? It just doesn't make sense. It's impossible. So we're starting with which is the information, and then saying, let's add A to it and turn it into some real actionable stuff. So it's kind of fun, and it goes really, really deep down the rabbit hole. But as you can imagine, most people just want to get started with the original and say, hey, let's just try to reverse the direction we're going, because it's not helping our bottom line.
Cool.
I thought I was intelligence. You were missing intelligence, not information.
Yeah, I know. I switched it on you, but still, it's intelligence, and information requires to get to intelligence, right? So,
I'm just
I appreciate that. And in the healthcare industry, information is the number one most valuable commodity out there. It's not available currently, and even if it is, not many people know what to do with it. So we're solving both of those problems.
And perhaps without wisdom, it's just knowledge and dead. So to your point,
I was going to add, Jeff, you're redefining AI instead of artificial intelligence. It's actual information.
Good point. AI squared, and that's what we're doing. We're doing actual information and artificial intelligence together to make it a powerful program.
Well, for those that stick around, Jeff has something to share at the end about what a qualified participant is. They're just rolling out with a few opportunities now. And we wanted to let everybody know, whoever showed up today, what they can do with who they know already, and under our affiliate type arrangement, take care of each other. So more on that a little bit later. And Shannon, I know you had a little bit to share as well. After we talk about what it is to do our power partners. Thomas, you want to just briefly describe what that is for us, for those that might not know?
Sure. Well, our power partners opportunity invitation is really essentially to anybody who feels a kindred spirit to what KCT is doing. As Shannon already mentioned, you may not fully understand what it is we do, but you have a heart's desire to learn more. It costs you nothing to be a cooperative, have a cooperative marketing covenant with us. we have 3 engagement levels, and to the degree that you engage in our shared expense, shared reward business model, you become a power partner the more you lean in to the into the invitation, into the relationship. So if you have the ability to share good news, and some people are really bad at sharing good news. I can speak from personal experience. I have a son who thought he was going to lose his job at the University of Minnesota, but he applied for the medical exemption, and he found out that they approved it. That was 2 weeks ago. I just learned about it through the grapevine. I would think that would be good news that people would want to share, but some reason people don't want to share good news, or they don't know how to share good news. But if you like to share good news, this is a great place to learn about good news. But what do you have? If you have it, what are you going to do with it? If you don't deploy it, is it really good news? So that's really the challenge is, what do you have in your hand that you're willing to share? And if you don't think you have anything in your hand worth sharing, you probably have been deceived. You have something that's worth sharing. And if you don't have it, maybe someone else has something that they can give to you that you can share. So again, that's essentially the overview is, we are encouraging people to lean in, press in, experience what you don't know, and don't be afraid to press. And I think Jeff can be a good testimony to it. He told me some time ago, he said, I really don't feel like I was qualified to be involved in the conversation. Well, that frankly is just a lie from the pit of hell. The enemy doesn't want you to lean in and press in. He wants to take you out. So, and just not the first person I've ever heard say that. It's just like, you're welcome here, and we value what you bring, but please share with us, what is it that you're bringing? Because we're going to give you everything we've got. We're not going to hold back.
Thank you, Thomas. For those that know what these little things are on the screen, I understand you can take a camera shot and it does something, goes somewhere. It's all automatic. So if you haven't done that already, take the camera out now. But what you just said, Thomas, really just stresses where we'd like to highlight our next partner to really make it obvious what options there are to help tell your story, whether it's your personal bio, or you need some help with that, or you just complete outsource and do something with you. Press releases, how to write one, what's the strategy, what's the angle, and where do you go? So you've got one. Then what do I do with it? You're right, Thomas. Very few folks really are good at sharing good news, but there is a way. And Shannon, you care to enlighten a few folks about what's possible being a part of the community here and bringing your expertise to the table?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. As I mentioned in the beginning, I was brought on to help actually one of their initiatives to help their board create a bio, their bios that are attractive to investors. And so Dale asked if I share. I have an upcoming event, our Media Magic event. Would love everybody to get a free copy of the book, and I'll put that in the chat to be able to get it. But we have been able to garner over $3 million in free publicity, and it's really simple when you know how to do it. And so part of that process that I found, in the very beginning of putting together your press kit is your power bio. I call it your expert power bio. And in the beginning, I remember I was, struggling to get clients, struggling to get paid. And the minute I went through, really taking time to level up, and I do this every year, we all have had accomplishments. We've been to events, we've been engaged in certain activities. But once I was able to focus on my power bio, I was able to get clients that pay as much as an attorney, hourly. I've been able to get, more yeses in proposals, and with investors in particular, if you have a project, like one of the key things they look at is who's on your team. And so part of why this is really important, and Dale's actually making an investment on KCT members' behalf. He's actually said, Shannon, I'm going to cover part of the cost to help people get their power bio done. is that this tends to be a place where people have a hard time talking about themselves or bragging about themselves, or, as a society, we, sometimes some people are really good at it and others are not. And so this is a real simple process that we ask questions, and then from there we actually help formulate your what we call expert power bio. And so I do every year. We didn't do it for a couple of years because of COVID, but we do a media magic event. We are actually doing this virtually, and in this process, starting this Wednesday, we have a group of people that are meeting together, and we're helping you craft your pitch. We're helping you put together your stuff for your power bio. And then at this event, April 27th and 28th, we actually have media that's going to be there that you get to meet and hear from. And this is a 2 days of working on your business. It's not a lecture and learn. This is actually where you're working on your bio. So I'm going to do a quick screen share, Dale. I had this kind of at the end, but I'll put it in here. Here's the upcoming event. And here is let me get the next thing for the QR code. And when you go here, there are, the part where we help do the press release with you. Dale has agreed, and Dale, we're still going with this, right? I just want to check before I tell them about your gift, or do you want to tell them about your gift?
At the end, I'm still making up my mind, but yeah.
What's that?
Yes, we'll cover the gift specifically at the end.
At the end. Okay, well, wait. Okay, good. So did I cover what you wanted about the bio? Was there something else you wanted me to do?
I certainly think so. And I encourage anyone listening in, if you're curious at all what that could entail, Shannon, if you could also provide your contact information in the chat so folks can get a chance to meet you and talk offline, that'd be great.
Awesome. All right, so now we're doing the breakout room.
Yes.
Yes, this is my favorite part. Awesome. And sometimes people chime on and get, they're like, oh, I don't want to talk to other people. And so we hope you stay. We hope that you're okay turning your camera on. You don't have to, but this is where we come together to collaborate. And when we get together, we'd love to hear your name and what brought you here. And what are you looking for next? It's really powerful that when we ask, especially in a group like this with such giving hearts and wanting to serve and support each other, that there may be somebody here that you meet and connect with that has that solution, or they might get off the phone and have a meeting later today to be able to support you. So to be able to ask clearly what it is that you're looking for is great, and how we can support you. So when we get into the breakout room, there's going to be a screen that will pop up. We will need a timekeeper. We'd like you to keep it down to 2 minutes. And I would suggest that it's not 2 minutes of you talking. If you want any sort of, feedback, or we need to talk. And ideally, when you do this, don't give them a bunch of feedback. It would be like, hey, Dale, I need to introduce you to Mary Beth, right? Let's talk afterwards. Like, that's how quick it is. And just kind of seed plant what it is that could be possible that you talk about afterwards. Whatever you put in the chat room, and I saw some of you putting in your chat your contact information, please do that. But know that what's in the chat room only stays in your chat. Not everybody else sees it. So also you'll want to put your contact information there. So the timekeeper, set it for 2 minutes, but if you can give a 1 minute warning or a 30-second warning, we want to make sure that everybody that's here has a chance to talk. And so in order to do that, we just need to make sure that we have that everybody has a chance to participate. So there's going to be 3 to 4 in each room. It'll be 2 minutes each. I'll allow just a couple minutes for you to get settled, but please jump right in. And if there's somebody in your group from KCT, if you could just help keep us moving. I do see one room that I'm just going to do a swap. So just give me 30 seconds, because we have like 3 KCP people in one room. I'm going to do a quick move. Let me do this right here, and we will be good to go. So with that, super grateful, and let me just exchange them real quick. I am going to put you in room 2. There we go. All right, ready, set, and Enjoy. So,
Tim, I really wanted to hear the rest of what you were saying. That was great.
David and Jeff, I apologize. I had a notice fly up and it was the wrong button. So hopefully you all got the closeout all right.
so please put your contact information in the chat, connect in our last 10 minutes and what we're working on. I'm going to do one poll, and while I'm doing the poll, and I believe this will work for participants. Let's see here. Can everybody see the poll okay?
Yeah. Yes.
And this is just asking which initiative that you heard about that you'd love to learn more. Would be great to take a moment. And while we're doing this, just curious if anybody wanted to share something quickly, because we want to have time for Q&A, something that they learned, new or something that was inspiring from their group. And I can't see everybody if you're raising your hand.
I was interested in the health, and I was talking about the health part of things, but there's Dale, I was wondering about, there was a self-sustaining building that someone wanted me to put as I told you, there's a global film competition I've been working on. They would put the studio in the building, and it's self-sustaining generator. You can sell electricity, all these things. But the most important thing, like you were just talking about, was the hot topic of health. And if I could put that together with them, and I didn't know it kind of fell apart in a deal a few weeks ago. And I'm wondering if you know of anybody who's architecturally, or anyone actually knows anybody who's working on a self-sustaining building of architecture in any way, shape, or form that we could put in the Las Vegas market.
You might want to have a conversation with Paul Decker. He's on the line right now. Make sure to find his information in the chat. He's working on a number of green initiatives and standards that I'm aware of, not just here in the States, but potentially international.
Wonderful.
But thank you for bringing that up. That's going to continue to be our greatest defense, and we all need to be much more aware of it and stay on top of it in the seasons ahead. So,
and I'm going to just chime in real quick. Jan McAdams is in Las Vegas, and she is responsible for funding for millions of green buildings. She did Georgia Tech, brought in all that money. She has connections in the DOE, and so she is in Las Vegas.
Wonderful.
And green initiative, green buildings. That's her specialty as funding, as bringing in money.
Wonderful.
There you go.
The guy who had it kind of flipped a switch in another direction on us, and it really is for senior assisted living, veterans assisted living, right? Including the health part and high tech part and shopping and all those things. So if I could get that information and get in touch with her, that'd be great. I'd love to talk to Paul. So,
I was just,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to add one more thing, just because I know kind of the back end of what KCT is doing. Jan's way is kind of the old model, and it works. But you combine that with what KCT is doing and their royalty revenue sharing, that whole thing, it just makes it a hybrid that's off the charts. So if you're not aware of that mechanism, it's really takes it to another level.
Would you, if you guys, I'm kind of new at this. Well, I'm not new at it, but I'm not an architectural building guy, obviously. But there's a guy out of Virginia that's a believer out of the Navy that has a great project in Virginia for veterans, and his building and what they're doing, he wants to cookie cut it across the country. And it has to do with self-sustainability in all aspects. So I'm hoping to connect that to make it happen in Vegas, because Vegas is Vegas is a crazy town, guys, but it's where a lot of new things are developed and launched. So,
Well, for anyone's knowledge is, after we're done, this link will be available, basically after the fact. For those that missed it, obviously, want to go look at it. I would encourage you, David, and this goes to anyone else, share it with, you probably have at least one or two projects, maybe somebody else that, hey, they need to see this. This is a typical example of how we roll, start to finish in about an hour's time. And that might be the best way. We can't force them, but shame on us if we judge them, they're not ready yet. Or
I think, Dale, he's right up your alley. Yeah, I think he would flip out with new information about it.
Cool.
So, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
David, did I see a hand up? Anyone
no.
else?
Yeah,
The other David.
the other David. I have a question regarding the lady in Las Vegas, Shannon.
Yes.
If you could share that information with me. I have a couple of things that I wouldn't mind talking to her about.
Okay.
Great, thanks. I have another meeting that I'm about to go to, so thank you all for attending. Thank you all for putting up with me, and God bless you all.
Wonderful. So we're in the Q&A part of things. I have one more poll just for, would love to have your feedback on today and any other questions that we have for Dale or the team. And David, Robert Moore is also in Vegas too, just to let you know, so we can start combining people.
You and Dale were talking about hinting about something and there's been no more discussion about it.
Oh, you're so good. So Dale, are you going to tell them about your gift?
Okay, we'll let it out. Thank you. Yeah, having gone through this before, Thomas can also attest, and a number of others. Bottom line is, we found, as challenging as the assessment process, how much better our profiles were to develop. Just that one module itself, not just how to tell the story and beyond. And I feel as though it's important in this year, we're going to go back to all of our partners and we're going to offer them, if you're going to at least opt in and be part of the shared rewards model, and you're going to be on volunteering and getting involved on other teams, we need to have kind of like a jersey, a team garb that says all our profiles are all kind of looking and feeling alike a little bit. Nice picture, of giving interest in, what have you. So we've got a standard 50, 75, snippet of this. And then we've got an expanded version. And then there's a much more full, why are you going to need it? You're going to need it to speak. You're going to need the intro to a stage when you win awards. You're going to need it for interviews on the radio. You don't know where you're going to need it, but this has got to be an essential tool. I would imagine in the last 2 years, you've learned something else than what you've been working on. You've done something else. You got a certification. Your bio should have changed in some way. And we just want anyone that's on our team, but especially if we're going to be on somebody else's team, let's all begin to look the part. And so what I'd like to be able to extend to any of our, shared expense, shared reward power partners is take $250 off any package that you select of Shannon's upcoming event. There's just another week and a half or so. I think it is. Don't quote me.
It's sorry, real quick, I just want to interject with you. It's the VIP or the elite, Dale, because that's where we actually get it done. The general is just you come and you learn and we work on it, and you're kind of, you have your own end in mind. But the other two, the VIP and the elite, are the ones where we'll do it with you, but you'll get a deliverable of that particular item done, and so much more. Sorry, Dale, I just wanted to interrupt.
Details are most appreciated. If you have questions about that, when you go hit that link before and go off to do that, please get in touch with Shannon. And obviously, we'll keep track of the accounting because we all know who's who kind of behind the scenes. So that's my gift to you all who wants to take and upgrade their giving back experience. I'd like to make you look great and make a contribution towards your investment in yourself and your organization this year, if you choose. Next.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
A quick question, those QR codes, can you put those in an email? I'm attending this meeting on my phone, so I can't attend and take a picture of the QR code at the same time.
Yeah, I'm putting them into the chat. Robert, do you know how to save the chat by chance?
I do not.
Okay, so I'm not sure on the phone, but Robert, I can make sure that you get them. I know here, do you see everybody where you type in your chat on the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 dots. And if you click on those 3 dots, there's something that will say save chat, and that will actually save the entire chat in your in a folder onto your desktop.
Fortunately, that doesn't come up on the phone app on Zoom.
Okay.
You'll get the recording after the fact, Robert, anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So you should be in good shape there. I would imagine.
Okay. All right. I was just an idea because I can't, like I said, I can't take a picture and.
Thanks
be
for
in the
showing up too,
room.
by the way, to kind of get a sense of what we're looking to put together for your project.
I appreciate it.
In the next month or so. And I would encourage you, share the link with your team too, so that you can be thinking about who's on your list, who needs to be invited to your inaugural town hall, as it were, and begin to tell your story. So,
right. Thank you.
Anyone else? We're at just past the top of the hour. We did pretty good today on time. I thank you all for your attendance.
All good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dale, for doing this and building community and all that you do to help us navigate this. We do have our Love Your Neighbor event tonight. And if you have not participated in the Love Your Neighbor event, this is really powerful opportunity to dive deeper. We actually have put together, I call it our treasure chest. It's, Dale has this World Congress library of things that he's put together over the last 20 years. And so in the Love Your Neighbor, we don't charge to attend, and we don't charge for the treasure chest, which is unbelievable. I had one guy come a few weeks ago and he said that alone was worth $5,000 getting access to what we put together. So things on how to work home-based business, how to access funding. We helped over $200,000 in grant funding come through with people in the town hall gathering. So there's a lot of really good stuff. That's at 8 o'clock in the evening. You just go to thegreatestcommand.com. And if you can't go every time, there's replays and all of that too, but we'd love to have you join us. And then we'll see you hopefully back in 2 weeks for our Power Partner event. And with that, save the chat. Make sure you go ahead and hit the 3 dots on the corner. And if you don't mind, I'd love to give a virtual, this is sign language for clapping our hands, round of applause for Thomas and Dale and all these amazing people that are committed to bringing the kingdom here. So with that, Dale, final remarks before I end the meeting?
Just anyone, I believe 2022 is going to be our best year yet. Please, if you have not finished preparations and getting your house in order for the great transition ahead, do so. If you don't know what that means, Love Your Neighbor is a place where we can dive deeper on a much more personal note, smaller group and intimate format. And look forward to sharing with you in the weeks and months ahead as we roll out these initiatives and so many more coming down the line. So when you get the email, share the link. Who do you know? Who needs to know some of the things we covered here today, what we're working on? We can all help someone with something or someone we know. It's about time we get connected. So thank you and God bless you all. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Your team, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, David. Bye, Paul. Hopefully we'll see you tonight. I know you're a regular.
This week, I just started COVID protocol.
Oh,
My sister tested positive on the weekend, so I'm off work for a week, so that's why I'm here.
oh, wow. Okay.
So we'll find out more as we go through this, but I can't really risk the people at work knowing what, how infectious it is, etc. So I'm at home this week, working on my stuff. Yay! But
Oh,
anyway, that's my this is the beauty and the power of Zoom. You can actually communicate, maintain your relationships, and still stay away from everyone else.
yeah, you can. Yes, you can.
What do you do, sir?
My background is system design engineering. The project that I'm passionate about right now, I actually have two of them. One is called Green Star Standard. It's all about bringing some of the U.S. Navy's best pollution prevention processes to ordinary businesses, people who either are at risk or who have fines, or just looking for a really great way to redesign their internal processes. And it's a remarkable process, and they've been doing it now for almost 20 years. And they went from the worst nightmare of the U.S. Navy to multiple consecutive annual award winners for pollution prevention. So they're very powerful processes. They spent tens of millions of dollars to develop them. And, very, very powerful stuff. It's a new way of looking at a lot of your systems, a lot of your business systems. If you want a real environmental makeover, unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with improved efficiency. Are you okay with that? Saving money, saving time, improving your efficiencies. Those are just some of the benefits. The other thing that I'm working on, Shannon, and
I have to run. I'm sorry. They're calling me. I've got another appointment.
Okay, wait. There's more. If you're on the Love Your Neighbor tonight, I'll be there.
Yes, if you can join us. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Big hug. See you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Yes, and so the other thing that I'm working on right now, I'm using my system design engineering skills, is a new way of building staffing company, where you take the behavioral profile of the new position that you're offering and the behavioral profile of the job seeker and doing that match, and no one else in the industry is doing that. So we're bringing that forward step by step out into the industry. It will really transform the way that people find and hold on to their jobs, because they'll be matched by behavioral style. Some people are, very detail oriented. We match them with a detail oriented position. Some people are out there in sales and they like to meet new people. We match those people who love to do that. So those are the types of matches. We have hundreds of positions where we already have detailed descriptions of the positions, and we have a process in place if you've got something that isn't already in our library. And so it's a really phenomenal business idea, and we're looking to be a brand new leader in the world of hiring and staffing. So, if anybody needs a job seeker, they may want to take a look at the way that we do things. It's a completely different way. So, just some of the stuff I'm working on. There's more.
Well, thank you, sir.
And pleasure meeting you, Bob. Pleasure seeing you. It's an interesting world in the midst of this pandemic, and how it all rolls out.
It's a new world.
keep meeting some very, very interesting people in this network and in others, and so it's being fearless as you're out there networking. You never know where your next big aha is going to come from.
Are you on LinkedIn, sir?
I am. Did you see my contact information? I posted it in the chat.
No, let me look. Okay.
PM Decker, and I included my LinkedIn like, so my, yeah, so it's look for Paul Michael Decker.
Okay, I just sent you a connection.
Cool. Fantastic. Well, enjoy. Have a great day.
You too, sir. Take care.